Welcome, welcome, welcome to the debut episode of the podcast Hashtag Fails. What does that mean? We're going to talk about business failures that are being turned or have been turned into successes. Now, my name is Karen Ross. I'm the owner of Cleveland Cold Brew Coffee here in Cleveland, Ohio. I've been in business since 2017, and I had a dream come true a couple years ago where I got a chance to open up my very own coffee shop and back in 2020. But unfortunately, I had to close it last year, so I guess you could say I'm speaking from experience. I've had a business fail, but I am taking that failure, learning the lessons that I need to learn, and moving forward into a different level of success. I'm working on it now. I've actually been bottling and wholesaling cold brew coffee. That's my main thing right now. And I've gotten a chance to get a commitment from Myers grocery stores to carry my products. So I am living proof that you can take business failures and turn them into successes. So for today, I'm going to introduce my very first guest. His name is Vic Searcy. Mr. Vic Searcy with Sauce the City, a premier hot chicken sandwich restaurant here in Cleveland, killing the game right now. Mr. Vic, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So why this podcast? Why this subject again? I wanted to bring to light to entrepreneurs, small businesses in particular, that business failures are a part of the journey. We're all going to end up with some type of failures, but what do we do with those failures and how we turn them into successes is going to be the key to keep going. So I want to talk with Mr. Vic here about his journey and some of the challenges that he's come across and how he's been able to overcome them to get to where he is right now with a very hot, no pun intended, location in University Heights, selling that good chicken and all that good stuff. Vic, you started out really getting into your business when you were in college.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
It was sophomore year at Kent State University, Entrepreneurship Course 101, Denise Easterling. I'll never forget this. It was the final project. They wanted us to come up with a profitable company. And then that was it. It was just like something. So it came time to do it. Then I came up with, I believe my company was called Vic Fries. It was Vic Fries. So I was like, all right, I'm selling fries, boom, boom, boom. I get it for, $10. I'm selling it for, a bag of potatoes. But this was all like hypothetical.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like nothing like reality. And then we went to pitch it in front of the class. And then it was a whole bunch of guys in like black suits on top, in the rafters and stuff. I'm like, who is these guys? And the teacher explained to me like those are like they're entrepreneurs but business investors, and they know that college kids have the best ideas. They just don't have no money. You know what I mean? So that kind of sparked. I got pissed off about that. So I was like, oh nah, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
And then the next summer, man, I went and bought a turkey fryer.
Okay.
I bought a turkey fryer. I bought a sack of potatoes. Back then in Ravenna, it was like $15.
Okay.
Who knows? The price of them now is crazy. But it was like $15 for like 50 pounds. And I had my little fry cutter. I went to my first festival, created my sauces, created the first Diete sauce. We still sell that till this day.
Okay.
Created Diete sauce at home in the dorm. And we went and we sold out every trip, man. And it became something that was like, it was crazy because it was something that I just had in my mind. Then I went out and did a festival, and then I had lines of people like going crazy for this sauce. I mean, I was being the cotton candy guy.
That's amazing.
The snow cone lady. They even unplugged my stand one time.
Oh, wow.
Because we was not teenagers, but we was like 18, 19.
Doing it big.
Yeah, doing it big. We had electrical, we had stuff plugged in that wasn't supposed to be plugged in, so it was easy to sabotage us at that time, so. Yeah, but that's how everything started.
Okay. Now, did you go to college knowing you wanted to follow an entrepreneurship path?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I first started in pre-med, psychiatry. I was doing that. And then I took organic chemistry and was like, nah, bro, First class, I was out of there. And then we went to psychology.
Okay.
So I was interested in talking to people and resolving issues.
Okay.
So I knew that was my thing that I like to do. So I stuck with psychology throughout, got a degree in psychology. And then after that, I got a clinical mental health counseling degree in Walden University. So I got that. And then I was working with families, children, married couples and stuff like that in the counseling. And that was me going out of college and actually going to the work field. I was doing that type of work. But I always did the sauces on the side. So the sauces was something that I loved. I loved to cook. I cooked all the way from high school all the way through college. Darden restaurants, Olive Garden. I worked with Damon's. I cooked on campus. I cooked off of campus. I cooked for Olive Garden. So I was always involved in corporations, larger corporations when it came to food. And I got my training from there. That's where I really learned my skills that I use now. But I never knew I was going to be using these skills. I just thought, it's something to do.
On the side.
And I thought I was going to be doing psychiatry and all that type stuff main time. But now I'm a full-time executive chef. So,
So what made you make the leap from psychology to having your own business or moving the side hustle to the main hustle?
I never really made that adjustment because I use psychology till this day. Even with the social media, I use psychology. I use psychology and how I get my customers and how I reach out to my customers. I use psychology when I'm dealing with the customers one-on-one. When we first started, it was I was fresh with the psychology skills. I had the counseling skills on point. So I was touching tables. I was sitting down with customers. I was talking to them. It was beautiful, man. And I believe that built such a strong atmosphere, and it was genuine because I really wanted to get their in-depth analysis on what they wanted.
That's very key.
Yeah, what they like in the food experience. And from that, I saw everything that my competitors was doing wrong. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make you guys feel happy, because my environment when we went to the Ohio City Galley, it was very corporate, it was very huge. I mean, it was a multi-million-dollar organization, and then I come in here, and I'm only selling jars of sauce. You know what I mean? So it was intimidating at first, but I was like, I got this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I just went ahead and did it. But psychology is still with me till today.
Okay.
So I still use it in a certain way, but making that actual leap from the office, because I was working in a nursing home too. I was a director.
Okay.
So
were you cooking at the nursing home?
No.
Okay.
No, this is straight social service director. So I had a whole office. Okay. So I get the call like, oh, we want you. We want Sauce the City. So I'm like, you want Sauce City? And then I was just going to jump into the administrator role at the nursing home. I was like, I had a little gap where I had to take the test, and then so I'm like, oh man, I could do it. I could do this for like 3-4 months. Why not try it? So I'm in the office with like mountains of bread. I got catalogs of food, totally stuff I wasn't supposed to be having in that office. But so it came to a point where I was like, oh, I can do both. And I believe it's scariest jump ever, but I'm so glad I did it because this company has made millions of dollars. You know what I mean? And then just making that leap, because if I would have stayed in that office, and it was so easy to stay in that office. I mean, I had guaranteed money. I had guaranteed a substantial amount. Then I had health insurance and stuff like that. And then I had, everything was already pre-packaged. But when you're doing an entrepreneur, nothing is guaranteed. So, yeah, Sauce City has made a huge impact in the city of Cleveland and with entrepreneurs. So I'm always pumping up the entrepreneurs. But if I would have just stayed in the office, man, I don't even know where I'd be right now.
Right. Well, that's great that you decided to take that risk and take that leap, and you've made such an impact on the city at this point. So walk us through getting into the Ohio City Galley. How did that come about?
Oh man, it was almost like I would say it was like I was on a Food Network. It was that type of vibe. Okay. I mean, they had a shaft, kind of like elevator, lifted up, opened up like this. We get in there, and I didn't put together a team of like cooks and sous chefs. I'm like, yo, we gonna do this. You know what I mean? Because at first I was like, I'm the general. I'm not getting it. I'm a coach y'all how to do this. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I came up with the recipes. Shout out Chef EC, Emily. Emily, she helped out tremendously when we first started. It was just me and her. She was working at the Cleveland Culinary Lounge Kitchen.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So Emily was so amazing. She is the originator of the street corn, because she was like, we need something different. I was like, burgers and fries, chicken and fries. Like, what you talking about? She was like, nah, let's touch into the Cleveland and Ohio. So that's where the corn idea came
Oh yeah,
from.
that was great. That's
Yeah,
great.
and I was like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. But the chicken, I made the chicken. You know what I mean? So the chicken, that was me. Because I wanted a specific type of chicken. I wanted a specific taste, you know what I mean, when it came to the chicken. Because I'm a foodie. I ate all around different states, out of the country, traveled to eat food in different countries. So my palate was just so, it's advanced. So I love eating different things and experiencing different things. So when I bit into a chicken sandwich, I didn't want to taste, my predecessors, you know what I mean? Because, Cleveland got some amazing chefs.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing chefs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. All across the board from top to bottom. Like, we don't slack when it comes to chefs.
Yeah.
Like, we got some heavy hitters.
For sure.
So when I bit into my chicken sandwich, I wanted to be different. I didn't want it to taste like anybody else's. So
now you were coming up around the whole Popeyes chicken sandwich craze, right? Okay.
Yeah, I was in it probably like a year, maybe. Nah, I don't think it was like 6-7 months.
Okay.
I was in a year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Popeyes challenge came out.
Yeah.
So I looked at that. I stepped back. I was like, whoa. Look at this. Look at the millions of people that's like getting interactive with this social media. And then I just saw the marketing model behind it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to take this marketing model and then I'm going to recreate it, but in the Cleveland market.
Okay.
I'm going to do everything that the Popeyes did, but it's going to be on a Cleveland market, on the Cleveland scale. And I did it. And that's where we came up with the hot chicken. We did a showdown.
Okay.
A chicken showdown.
Okay.
And we did it at the Red Space.
Okay.
And this is crazy, man. We had red carpets. We had comedians. We had the local celebrities come out, and we invited we let the people choose like who has the best chicken sandwich, and they came up with like 6-7 different restaurants, and then we reached out to them, and we talked smack, Twitter, Instagram, we talked smack like, yo, we challenging you guys to come to a chicken showdown. Don't worry, we're gonna buy all your food. Don't worry about just bring your materials and cook with it, So how can they say no? I mean,
right.
they're
not gonna lose any money, right?
They're not gonna lose no money. We're gonna get this going. So bought a big trophy, and then we just went at it with some top heavy competitors. I mean, Good Company was in there. Black Box Fix was in there. Boss Chicken and Beer was in there. We were in there. I think that was the top guys. And then a couple guys bailed out at the last minute, They didn't want to take it, But we won for the Cleveland hot chicken sandwich.
Okay.
And it was it was tight. It was tight. I was scared. I was like, man, I didn't set up this whole thing.
Yeah.
But our sandwich came off on top. Then I just took it off. We just took off from there. We got a lot of national attention. People start flying in from different states trying out. We got people from Utah, Mexico. People from California was coming in just to try our chicken sandwich. So we became a destination space.
Okay. So you built that whole clientele up from transitioning from college to a corporate job, stepping out on faith, and then just built everything up. So now you're rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
you're over here now. What's happening next after that?
Now we're in the Brown Stadium. We're in the Cavs Stadium. So I'm going for the Guardians. I'm going for the Guardians. Don't get mad. I said the Indians, but I'm going for the Guardians, and then I'm going for other bigger venues where I can partner up with bigger organizations and kind of take the platform and make it more corporate.
Okay.
That's the main idea for Sauce City at this point.
Okay.
Getting the systems down, getting the food out faster, but sustaining that because we make everything fresh.
Okay.
I mean, everything is fresh. It's going to take about 15 minutes to get your meal out of Sauce City, but it's guaranteed that everything be fresh. We use local. We source local. We're like a Michelin, we try to get like a Michelin star chicken spot, but we got, we still got styrofoam boxes.
Had you expanded your menu at this point, or were you still just focusing on chicken sandwiches?
At the point of, with the Popeyes.
Yes. Or
No.
when you were in the galley.
In the
where
galley?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the galley. They challenge you, man. Because I was in there with three other like top chefs.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And I hadn't proven myself as a Cleveland executive chef at that point. So it was heavy competition.
Okay.
I mean, these guys, you know what I'm saying? Mike, I'm trying to remember everybody. But I know we were next to Mike and he had the burgers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, you know, the 10-man burgers. It was a challenge.
Oh,
it was always, but me and Chef Mike, Mike Sean, we always challenged each other. And we always got on each other's skin. It was crazy. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was like the Steelers and the Browns.
Okay.
You know, we always challenged each other, but it brought out a great environment.
Yeah.
Because they put us in the middle next to each other.
Okay.
So his line to be going this way, my line to be going that way.
nice.
And then our kitchens connected at the same time. It was nuts, man. But we had to do, sometimes we had to do pasta. Sometimes we had to do special 3-course meals. Sometimes we had to do a special dessert. So me just coming from making signature sauces, I was just thrown into the game and then I had to like make it work, you know. So it was definitely a challenge, but it was just like a crash course, a master course in culinary arts.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're going strong. So what happened with the galley? I know what happened, but tell the people what happened. You're going strong. You got all these things going on.
Oh, so we rocking and rolling, man. We make it, you know, the galley took a lot of, their cuts a week was crazy. You know what I mean? It took a heavy percentage out of our gross.
Okay.
But that was the rent. That was the rent. So I thought we were doing, you know, pretty good, but we were actually out selling the bar at the same time. You know what I mean? But in the environment of the galley, it was a 2-part concept. So the food was supposed to make things work, and then the bar was supposed to make things work. It was a 2 and 2. Like
Gotcha.
if one was working, the other one had to work.
Gotcha.
But it became like more on the food side than the bar side, and I think that knocked off their business model.
Okay.
So I think, and then they closed the doors after the first year.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they closed the doors. Now you're there. They're closed. Did you have other things going on? Because you mentioned things with the Guardians and the Browns. Did you still have those things going on at this time, or was it just the galley?
But at the end of the day, that's the brick and mortar is kind of like the lifeblood of everything. You know what I mean? Because everything is just a deal, percentages and stuff. But the main source of income is always the first, you know, the main spot.
Okay.
So once they pulled the rug, and they pulled the rug crazy, you know what I mean? I got a truck of food coming in, huge truck, thousands of dollars of food coming in. So it's coming in, and then I get an email saying, we're not coming back. We're closing the galley. Sorry about this. Boom, boom, boom. I don't even think it was a sorry in there. I don't even think it was a sorry. It was just like, boom, we're closed.
Wow.
I'm not coming back, you know, because it was an out-of-town company that did it.
Okay.
So they never came back.
Wow.
They never came back, and, you know, and they kind of let us, whoever was there, they was like, handle the close, handle the shutdown. We had an epic party. It was an epic party.
Okay.
You know, it was an epic party.
Okay.
But yeah, they pulled the carpet right from under us.
Okay.
You know?
So what did you do?
Man, you know, at that point, you know, I never thought about just going back to work.
Okay.
I never thought about that.
Okay.
It never crossed my mind. You know, we didn't build this thing. You know, I got this rolling. I got this rolling. So what I did was I told my team, and that's another thing that I love about Cleveland and the entrepreneurs. If they have an opportunity, they're going to reach out, because a lot of other bars, Sionados, they're in the flats. You know, Pat, his name is Pat. He's one of the owners. He reached out. He said, listen, you know, I got a spot in Lakewood. You guys want to rock that out, you know? And then we partnered with him. Okay. And then we also partnered in Sionados for a while, because they do pizzas. Okay. And then they let us do our hot chicken.
Your hot chicken.
And then they really didn't take a cut. They just let us, you know, go down there and sell. And then we ended up rocking that out too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Letting the people know, yo, we're over here. And then we rocked that out. And then we ended up going back into the building and taking over the building that the galley was in.
Okay.
We worked with Snavely on, you know, working a deal out to go back into the building, and we became the main Lisi's, and then
Okay.
that's where I opened up to other restaurants, and I became like the Salt City Food Hall.
Okay. So what was the thought process in going from we're completely shut down, they pulled the rug out from under us, to now I'm going to lease this space? How did you, what was your thought process? And then also, I'm not going back to corporate. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the corporate idea it didn't even come in my head. I
Okay.
never even, you know what I mean? And I'm sure if it would, it probably would have dominated, you know what I mean? But it never came in my head because I had a whole team. I mean, a whole team. I mean, team of like 15 people strong that was in there.
Supporting, that
Yeah.
were relying on you.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
support.
they're you know, I'm paying them
Yeah.
weekly. You know, they got I'm feeding their families. So and then that's what really was what pushed me into just keep going no matter what. I mean, it was a point where we was getting stuff out of the U-Haul storage. You know, we had stuff in the U-Haul storage and we just cycling it out, and keeping things rolling like that. But the thought process was basically, okay, we got hit with something. All right, so let's pivot. Let's think about what we can do to pivot to make things going. Because even in football, like I was a running back, so whenever you get hit, you always taught. You know, it becomes like in your brain to keep your feet moving.
Okay.
You got to keep your feet moving. And then we just did that. We just kept our feet moving because I knew we had the best product in the city. I already knew we had the best chicken sandwich in the city, maybe the state, maybe the world. You know, but we just got it listed as the best in Ohio. So,
Oh, wow.
You know
In
what I
the
mean?
whole state of Ohio.
Whole state of Ohio.
Wow.
The Cleveland Hot chicken sandwich, the best
Okay.
chicken sandwich in Ohio.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and that was from an LA publisher.
Oh, wow.
A foodie publisher that's just going around to different states and
Okay.
stuff. So we won for the best in Ohio.
Okay.
And then we got an article from China that tried to come up with. It was like, oh, that's a little too deep, you know. we ain't trying to go down there. But again, it's all about pivoting. And when you get hit, think about ways to pivot. And then now, me being older, because I was more, young at that point, but now I'm older, so I can kind of look at the landscape a little bit better if, when we have to pivot on, I should make this move, I should make this move, I should make this move. But back then it was more of, we have to keep going because we have a customer base that's waiting and wanting us. Because, I'm telling you, lines out the door, lines of people showing up, food. They wanted our food because it was unique, it was different.
I love to see that. Like, I watch a lot of things on TV and they have the restaurants, whatever it is, and they have the people lined up down the street. I love to see that.
Yeah.
It says that you have an amazing product that people want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. Now, at any point did you feel like that you had failed, or that there was something that you had done that contribute to this, or was it just, hey, this happened, we just need to pivot?
Well,
and
I put
turn
that.
our way?
Yeah, I put that. The failure thing not on us. You know what I mean? Because they gave me a template. The Ohio City Galley, they gave me a template, and I followed that template to the T.
Okay.
I made sure they got their numbers. I made sure they got their money. You know what I mean? So it was that. Because I'm always, I always got to make sure, we solid. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we handled our part of the bill. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But then again, they didn't handle their part of the bill.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where I felt, so I didn't feel a sense of failure on myself or on my team because I know we delivered what we were supposed to. But it was disheartening because that's who we trusted.
Right.
That's who we sent the checks to.
Right.
That's who, that's who was supposed to be responsible on handling the whole building type thing. And then they just let us down. But when that happens, you really don't have a choice. I really didn't have a choice or a say in the matter. So we just had to do what we had to do to
Right.
pivot and to see what other opportunities we could do. Because, that building it was like $3 million building. It was huge. I mean, that building was huge, top and bottom. So we took over that building.
Okay.
So we had to run that. And it was crazy, I never had a building, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm opening doors. I'm seeing like stuff huge. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the hell this is. What is the type of boilers? We had like 20 boilers in there, 20 water heaters. It was crazy. But we handled it, man. And we rocked that out for a good year and a half
Okay.
after that.
Okay.
Okay. So we just didn't agree with the location and, we had a lot of tenants upstairs too. So it was a lot of like conflicts right there.
Okay.
And we didn't have the huge backing or the source that, the Hot City Galley had.
Okay.
So, but we had huge entertainments. We had entertainment parties. I mean, we had celebrities coming in. We did the All-Star. We did the NFL draft. We had the NFL coming in. We had the NBA coming in. We had local and national artists coming in. We did stuff for Capitol Records, Sony Records. So we had become, we worked closely with 107.9, all the radio stations. We just made sure we was professional and we kept things, concrete and black and white.
Yeah.
So it was easy for larger corporations to work with us.
Okay. So you had your vision, you're following your vision with the mindset that, this is good for now, but there's something bigger and better on the horizon.
Yeah.
Were you planning for that consciously, or did that just kind of happen?
No, that just happened. I think the main change of my perspective was when we got visited by Marnie and Sheryl Sandberg. So Marnie is the COO of Instagram.
Okay.
And Sheryl Sandberg is the lady that's under Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay.
So they came to visit us during All-Star.
Okay.
They heard about us. They came in. And I was like, what the heck going on? Because I used to get these little emails from Facebook, but it was like the corporate Facebook. And I'm thinking they just want, maybe I'm trying to get verified or something. But they just trying to ask me questions. But it was just them preparing, prepping us for them to come.
Oh, wow.
Then they came in, and then they brought their families. We're having a huge brunch. It was crazy, but it was good. It was good vibrations. So they came in, they brought their families, and then basically they ate the food, and their faces lit up, and they was like, "Vic, do you know what you have right now?"
Wow.
I was like, I got a hot chicken sandwich, But they was like, this can be translated all the way to LA.
Wow.
All across the nation. Like, this food is so good, and your story is you're using local resources. You're building up your economy, your local economy. You're using local bakers, you're using the local butcher. You're using the local people that's around you to
you're actually contributing to the building of the economy of the city, which is what we want to do.
And we were using the neighborhood. We was training the neighborhood kids how to cook their food, how to prepare food, how to, we're teaching them skills, at a young age. I mean, my youngest guy was like 15, you know what I mean? And we got him, and, we trained him so much. He became the best guy we had, you know what I mean? And that's from 14, 15 all the way to now. He just graduated. He just moved away. But he's doing amazing. And he learned the work ethic. He learned to be on the team. So, it's just things that's, priceless, when you become an entrepreneur, and the lives that you can touch and the people that you can, grow is
yeah, it's beyond you. It's bigger than you.
Yes.
And you feel the obligation to the community to teach and train.
Yes.
And put and give back, and that's a lot to be said, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people come into it with what I want, and I'm gonna make this money, and I'm gonna get this car, and I'm gonna have these people, that kind of thing. And it's, I love to hear stories of people that approach it organically and approach it as a way to contribute to their community and to society as a whole. So that's amazing.
I'm still not living big. But I think I became conscious of not even trying to reach a level like that. You know what I mean? I'm so on the ground. I'm so with my team, and I'm so on a mission to make the company a corporate company that's nationwide, that has multiple locations, that's in multiple arenas, that's growing and soon to be worldwide. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to look at. I want to make sure my kids have an organization that they know, wow, this is the family organization. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is what my dad did. You know what I mean? Those type of legacy type of vibes, that's what I'm looking for. So, and I know I might be just the start of it. You know what I mean? But in building a road, somebody got to break the ground. Somebody got to lay the the concrete down. Somebody got to come smooth it down. Somebody got to let it dry, you know?
Yeah.
And then probably the great, they can drive the Ferrari around it. You know what I'm saying?
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but I know I ain't going to be probably the one with the Ferrari down, driving it down.
Now, did anybody like close to you try to divert your dreams or try to, put salt in the game or tell you, hey, what are you doing? Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Till this day.
Yeah.
Till this day. Because I grew up around individuals and that they worked. Mm-hmm. They, you work, you go home, you
work
go,
your job,
that's it.
stay there till you retire.
Yeah, that's it.
Pay your bills,
that's
take
it.
care of your family.
And then that's the hardest thing because when you're an entrepreneur and you around family or friends that never experience what you experiencing, and it becomes a point where you're at a place and you can't really be, cocky or,
right.
You can't be a big-headed person because you on the ground.
Right.
That's going to look crazy. You can't be big-headed when you washing dishes with your people or you cooking the chicken with them people.
And I see this guy doing that. Every time I come into a place, he's back there cooking
exactly.
and taking care of customers.
I'm doing everything. If you don't want to work, go home. Right. I got you. I save on the payroll. I always tell them I'll save on the payroll. You can go home. I got you. And it's been points where I had to rock out Salt City by myself. It's there, man. But you got to let people know, like, you're willing to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shut down because you having a bad day.
Yeah.
You need to let people know you're having a bad day so I can work it out.
Right.
But the support system, that's what's lacking. And that's what I definitely feel the young entrepreneurs because once you get into it and you put you're all into it and then you look around and it's nobody in your corner, you're not used to that.
Right.
You're used to mom being in the corner, your friends being in the corner. No, girl, no, you got this, dude. But not being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They don't know the first thing what you going through.
Right. Right.
They don't know how to do a payroll. They don't know how to budget.
Right.
They don't know how to sacrifice your pay all the time so your staff can eat. You know what I mean? They don't know how to do. They don't know that type of sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, but what I learned is not placing those burdens or your frustrations off on your friends.
Yeah.
You can't pitch your friends because my thing was, hey, you an owner, everybody's owner. But nah, because that's when you get mad because you're like, man, I'm out here. I'm hustling too hard and
I
you
got
just
$2 to my name right now.
Exactly, and you just chilling and you telling people you the owner. You know what I mean? It's that type of vibe. So having a strong support system is very key. Now Cleveland has a lot of support systems, and I did not utilize them when we first started. Didn't utilize them. I just started in the past year utilizing stuff like that, like organizations like Jumpstart.
Yep.
ECDI, Urban League, stuff like that. So all the people I really didn't, because I was so used to Kent. And Kent, they would make me pitch until the cows come home. I'm pitching. They didn't give me a dime, you know what I mean? So I didn't pitch in front of these, man. It was like Shark Tank. I mean, I'm pitching in front of guys I'm looking at them, they got a red chair with their picture above them. It's that deep, okay? I'm pitching in undergrounds, clubs, millionaire clubs.
Wow.
I'm pitching. It's crazy, man. But it toughened me up so crazy that I really didn't ask people for stuff. I just figured it out. Okay. And that's what I love about the Kent system because it was like a first entrepreneur. It was called Blackstone. Then it became Launchpad, something like that. But it was Kent State Entrepreneur, but they were just developing a program. So I was kind of like the kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like the first one that was actually making a company and sticking with my company. Okay. So Miss Judy, Zach, everybody over there on the Kent team, they really stuck by me, answered all my questions, let me know things. Really, they was my support system before, I went into the total restaurant guide. But as far as personal, no.
Okay. How about mentors? Do you have mentors that you rely on, or how important is it to have mentors, especially, being in a business, kind of like you said, kind of by yourself because you don't have the support from your family and friends
yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, and it's not a negative or derogatory. I don't want them to
not
feel
at all.
like that, but
Yeah.
they just can't relate.
Right,
They just
exactly.
can't relate to what you're doing. As far as mentors, yeah, I can say I got a couple mentors. You know, I got like sub mentors. You know, Larice. You know, I can hit him up. Let me see. I got Larice, Chef Eric, Akeem with the Akeem, and who else? Who else I can call? Matt. He ran the Boiler 65.
Okay.
You know, Joe with the Primos. It's just other entrepreneurs and other businessmen.
Yeah.
But they're just people I could just bounce stuff off of. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
just bounce stuff off of them, and then they could just like, all right, boom. You know, but Cleveland is real, like, you know, they're not, nobody's gonna take you like, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna do none of that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a competition, you know what I'm saying? I'm a shark, they sharks, you know what I'm saying? So we all sharks in the water. So you can't make a mother shark bigger than you, they ain't gonna eat you, you know what I mean? So it's always like that, you know what I mean? But mine always been, my business model has always been a very clean, honest, I just want the best for my customers. I want the best for my consumers, and I want the best for my staff.
Yeah.
And then that's been the origin and the basis of all of my business. You know what I mean? So I believe that's what opens up all of the doors that I do have open is the honesty, the hard work,
Having the integrity.
the integrity of it, making sure the food. Make sure that food, when they bite into that food, it's like nothing that they ever had before.
And customer service too.
Customer
People
service,
take that
yes.
for granted, but customer service is very important.
Yes, I don't care if you ask for change. You know what I'm saying? If you want to spend money in Foster City, we're gonna treat you like gold. You know what I mean? And then that's another thing that I want to translate as far as we grow and as we do multiple locations. I want to make sure that integrity piece doesn't fall off, or that quality piece doesn't fall off.
Right.
Because that's the hardest thing, keeping that quality. You know what I mean? When you start growing.
Yeah, you have to. The consistency has to be there.
Yeah.
And no matter if you go to this location or that location, people expect us to have the same experience.
And that's because I saw that when I did the stadiums, when we did the Brown stadiums and the Cavaliers. It's, you know, when you feed in thousands of people. You know, the consistency has to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love the Airmark team, amazing team, very transparent. They let me come in because I'm always cooking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they were like, Vic, you in there cooking again? You know, but that's what it is. I gotta make sure
everything is right.
I gotta make sure everything's right. I gotta make sure even if the people is like biting into, because a lot of in the games is their first time trying this. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So that's another first time. So I got to make sure that first time is great. You know
Now,
what
are
I mean?
you still in those venues?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. You did you're doing the Guardians now for this season?
No. I'm still working on getting that connection with the Guardians to get in there.
Okay. Okay. How easy or difficult is it to get into, you know, corporate locations like that? Because that's different. Because most people who have restaurants, they kind of stick with the restaurants and they you know focus on that brick and mortar. How has it been to transition from the restaurant into the corporate settings?
Oh, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. I was lucky enough to have Daniel Sidnor. That's another one of my mentors. So I work with the NAACP. That's when I first met them. Kind of when we was first starting out. You know, but now we're kind of all, you know, been around for a long time. But I met with the NAACP. We did the Taste of Black Cleveland. That's when I first got introduced to the Airmark team with the Cavaliers. And then that was another competition. That was another. I always be in competitions, man. I'm a gladiator.
It's in your blood.
You know, that's crazy. So we did that, and then we did the chicken sandwich, and then they tasted ours, and then they were like, "Oh my God." But then again, it wasn't just that competition that opened the door. So many caterings came after that. So many other meetings came after that. Dinners came after that. So it was more of they wanted to know who I was. They wanted to know who my company was. Maybe they'll just pop in on a restaurant one random day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're vetting. You know what I mean? They're seeing about is this you know, is this really real? You know what I mean? So I just feel like, you know, every time they called on us, and it was crazy. Vic, I need 100 sandwiches. Vic, I need 200 sandwiches. Vic, can you do the draft? I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, but I never said no.
Right?
I never said no. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. I can do it. I don't care. And then, so I believe that being able to be in that transparent, I believe that's what opened up the doors, you know what I mean, to that type of corporate type of situation. And it's still a growing relationship, you know what I mean? It's still a growing relationship, you know,
Yeah.
and I still treat it just like I first got it. I got to make sure that food is right. I got to make sure the staff, you know, working with a different staff every game, that could be challenging.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
So
that could be very challenging.
different staff every time you do an event. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You got to be ready.
The
What they
zoo-
say, if you stay ready, you won't have to get ready.
Yeah. I didn't put my team through some crazy stuff, man. We went to go look at a place one time. It was only 3 of us, and then it was like, can you? It was at the zoo. It was like, it wasn't the Bull at the zoo. It was one of the big events at the zoo, and they had our stand, and it just said Salsa City. And nobody was behind it.
Oh no!
I was like, yo, where's the workers? It was like, can you do it? I looked at my staff and we rocked it out.
Knocked it
Thousands of people did it.
Yeah.
Man, we done been through some stuff, man.
That's amazing. And then you're still here to talk about it.
God is good.
Yeah.
God is good.
So yeah, I would say that when we're talking about failures, the real fail is when you stop trying.
Yes.
I believe that that's the real failure is, something trips you up. You may not have expected it. The real failure is when you stop. Or
Yeah.
when you just give
Definitely.
give up on your dream, give up on yourself. So what final words or advice can you give the people out here, especially people, young entrepreneurs, and maybe even entrepreneurs that have been in it for a while, maybe they need a little bit of encouragement, especially during these times that we've been through. We're
definitely.
post-COVID. A lot of us got taken
Definitely.
out during COVID.
Yeah.
We're post-COVID. Things still aren't right. So what kind of words do you have for the people? Coming from someone like yourself who has gone through many different obstacles and challenges and still been able to come out on top on the other side.
Yeah. So I forgot the scripture, the exact scripture it is, but it's talking about building your house. Don't build your house on sand. You know what I mean? You got to build it on rock. I don't know exactly the scripture, but you can. Everybody got the app.
Yep.
Everybody got the app. Look it up.
Look up sand and rock.
Yeah,
You'll find
yeah.
it.
So basically, what I did was, and you got to build your company as like a cell. You know what I mean? So your nucleus is going to be your main product. My main product was. It started off as the Diete signature sauce,
Okay.
and then it transformed to the Cleveland hot chicken sandwich.
Okay.
So whatever your nucleus is, whatever your base is, whatever you're going to build your company on, it has to be something solid. Okay. And then once it's that, you work on that.
Okay.
And this can be years of working on it, but you always constantly work on it.
Come back
work
to
on
that.
it, work on it, work on it. So that's your foundation. So everything from that gets built from that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, because examples work good. Because
Yes.
people don't. All right. So the Cleveland hot chicken sandwich. Cleveland hot chicken sandwich is like our main product. It's our nucleus. Okay. From that, we created other sandwiches based off of that model. So now we already know it's guaranteed. This is what people love. So now we're going to transform from that.
Okay.
It's not going to vary too much from it, but it's going to be similar, but different taste buds.
Okay.
Maybe this is sweeter. Maybe this is spicy. More savoriness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everything is basing off of that nucleus, off of that base of your base product, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yours with the coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever your top seller is, that's your base. You know, that's what that's what brings in the most money. So you just layer your company based off of your nucleus.
Okay.
And then even if you get hit or anything, like a layer get knocked off, you lose your building, boom, boom, boom. You still have that nucleus. You always go back to that
Still got your intellectual product.
intellectual
which is
property.
your thing.
Yes,
It
and
has
protect
nothing to do
that.
with the
Yeah.
physical building,
Yes.
landlord, rent, none of that.
And it all can come down because everything can get rebuilt as long as that nucleus is in place. You know, whatever your main product is, you have to perfect that. You have to make sure it is undeniable and it's the best. I mean, nobody can set up against that. You know what I mean? So that's what I always focus in. And that's why when people come in and try our food, they like, oh, wow, this is like the best food I ever had. It gives a nostalgic type of vibe. And then we actually did, we did surveys and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I use,
A lot of people don't do that. That's a good tactic to take, so you can get some real feedback on your
Exactly.
product and your what you're offering.
I was in my doctorate program for for the clinical counseling when I first started Sauce the City.
Okay.
It was crazy. I was writing 30-page papers and then frying chicken. Writing 30-page papers, frying chicken 30. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was going nuts, but I didn't want to quit nothing. So I
Right.
was like, I'm doing everything. Crazy, man. But it's just like the having the faith. My faith is definitely my base and my belief in Christ. Like that's definitely who I am to the core. You know what I mean? So that's my foundation that I have that I build off everything. But that's my spiritual. And then, on the business side, you got to have that foundation of your best product and build from that.
Okay. Well, I think we've learned a lot. I know I've been taking notes. I learned a lot from this young man over here. And I thank you so much for gracing us and coming for my very first episode.
Oh, it's your
Very first, yes, very first.
It's a hitter.
Yes. So I want to say thank you to everyone out there who's watching, all 2 of you. And we
2. We
I'm
gotta
just
get some
kidding.
more people.
No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna come back for some more episodes. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Let us know what you think. And again, I thank you, Vic, for coming by and gracing us with your presence.
Yes.
Continued success to you.
Thank you
And
so much.
I'll be coming in to get my little snack pack of chicken wings. You're closed
Yes.
today, but I'll be over there tomorrow.
Yeah, can I? Oh, all right, we're at 1.
Yes.
We're at 14480 Cedar Road, University Heights, Ohio. You can find us at www.saucethecitycleveland.com. We're our Sauce the City on Instagram, Sauce the City University Heights on Facebook. You can find us anytime. We're open 7 days a week. Usually 11 to 8 p.m., weekends 10 p.m., and Sundays 11 to 6 p.m.
What's your top sellers? What the people like? What's
The people
favorites?
love, the people's champ is the Cleveland hot chicken sandwich,
Okay.
The cilantro buffalo wings,
Okay.
the honey barbecue loaded fries, crazy, been selling out like crazy. Then the newest one that's been going crazy, we sold about 100 Polish boys last week. So the honey barbecue Polish boy, our Polish boys come with everything. I mean, from the fries, the slaw, everything, and it's like a loaded. Boom, it's coming at you, but it's not. It's like the old school sloppy.
I was gonna say, y'all.
It's the old school
remember
sloppy,
the old
but
school
it's still
Polish boys
it's still
with
cold
the
in there.
coleslaw, the fries, the sauce. He's giving old school.
It's
right
crazy.
there.
It got the snap to it.
Yes.
All beef, no
Yes.
pork, and we have pizza now too.
Oh, great.
We have flatbreads. Well,
Okay.
we're not gonna call it pizzas. Artisan flatbreads.
Gotcha.
We got to be culinary,
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
and we have funnel cakes too.
Ah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
All right.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next.